Okay, so today we're going to be talking about climate change and psychology, and we're going to be talking about the mental effects of climate change. And one of the effects of climate change induced disease, and we talked about how when the temperature is warm, like it brings about like vector-borne disease such as West Nile virus. And some of the symptoms of the virus include fever, headaches, body aches, skin rash, and paralysis. And as a result of this disease, like people are forced to like migrate from their country to another country, which could lead to stress. And also, those suffering from the disease are held back from everyday functions, and they're held back in their country, and they can't go to school, they can't go to work, and because they can't go to work, they cannot earn an income to like feed their families. And then another effect that we talked about was migration, and we talked about how climate change causes people to migrate, which leads to stress and adjustment issues. Um, this leads to stress because people are forced to like leave their homes and start over. People are forced to like travel for long hours, and people are forced to make arrangements on how to begin in this new country with their new lives. And they have to adjust like the new environment, the new climate, the new rules and regulations. They have to get a new job. They have to get a new school for their kids. Their kids are also prone to bullying because they come from a different culture, which and bullying can lead to anxiety, depression, and possibly suicide as well.
Next couple slides are going to be talking about the more severe mental health effects that come with climate change, especially global warming. One such severe mental health effect would be aggression. Uh, Hot temperatures have been proven to lead to hostile behavior, so the the joke that murder rates rise when temperatures rise is actually proven true. Some of the more severe cases of aggression that occur with hot temperatures due to global warming are murder, domestic violence, and crime rates rising as the temperatures rise. Then, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you're going to be seeing depression and anxiety, which this comes with droughts or any sort of climate change that adversely affects crop growth or vegetable growth. Droughts, which affect the growth of crops, also have an impact on the farmers. The lack of crop availability affects both the farmer and society as a whole. Farmers suffer from depression and suicidal thoughts as a result of money and business failure. This is due to the fact that farming is their livelihood and they're not producing product, they're not producing crops like they did in the past, like in the past years when they were having an abundance of crops to sell and make ends meet. And society, with this loss of natural food availability, nutrition becomes an issue which can lead to depression and stress. So the feeling of you're not eating right, you're not getting those necessary nutrients, that affects your mental state.
Okay. So, prison is an environment that has its very own climate to the people that live there. Whenever somebody goes into prison, they are forced to adapt to a lot of new things. And these things include a new language, they have to learn to communicate with each other in a new way, rules that they're not used to, and rules that they don't have to follow outside of prison, a new chain of command that involves them being at the very bottom and everyone else above them. Segregation is one of the more obvious components that prison has, and this is segregation of culture, race, or beliefs. And because of this segregation, it usually leads to prisoners having to regulate display of emotion in order to adhere to organizational or cultural role expectations. And these high expectations lead to depression, suicidal thoughts, and poor self esteem as they lose themselves in the process of trying to fit into these new groups. Suicide is the last factor of climate and the effect it has on a person's psychology. And frustration, stress, lack of resources, business or job failure, and adjustment all can lead to suicide. Every effect of climate change discussed are roads to suicide. Suicide would significantly rise as a result of any type of climate change.